Next, let's turn to iOS. So iOS, we're hitting a big milestone because now I'm pleased to introduce iOS 10. Now, iOS 10 is a huge release for developers, and it is the biggest iOS release ever for our users. Now, there are 10 big features I want to talk about today, and let's start off with number one, that's user experience. Now, in iOS 10, we've redesigned the experience of the lock screen with rich notifications that give you quick interaction with apps through the expanded use of 3D Touch. But rather than just talk about it, how about I just show it to you right now? Let's do a demo. Now, one thing a lot of us have noticed now that we have our iPhone 6Ss with the incredibly fast Touch ID sensor is that we can just blow past our notifications on our lock screen. We never even get to see them. And so in iOS 10, we have a great solution. It's called Raise to Wake, and it lets you see what's on your lock screen without ever touching a button. Let me show it to you now. I just raise my wrist, and my phone wakes up just like that. Now, the first thing you'll notice is these beautiful notifications are no longer causing us to darken your wallpaper, so you get to look at that. But what's more important is they're really interactive through 3D Touch. So for instance, with this calendar notification, I can just 3D Touch on it, and I can jump right in and get all this rich detail about this invitation. I can see my calendar, and I can accept it right here. Now, this is especially great with messages. Let's 3D Touch into that one. And here you see, I see the message that was sent to me. I can respond right here, the keyboard. But what's great is I can stay in the conversation right here on the lock screen and even get rich responses like images right in line. And this works really well with third-party apps as well. So for instance, if I get a notification from Uber, I can just press in and I get this completely interactive and animated live status update on my car as it comes in. It's really great. Now, of course, as always, you can get your notifications right here from the top of the screen. But now, with 3D Touch, if you want to clear them, you can just press in and clear them all with a tab. It's really great. Now, Control Center is available from the bottom of the screen as well. We can just swipe up from the bottom. You see, it's beautifully redesigned, gives me great access to all my controls. But if I swipe over, you see we have a special area for our music with nice big controls and beautiful album art right there. Now, we've made it easier than ever to get at your camera from the lock screen. So I can just slide over from the right, and there's my camera. And it's easy to take a picture of my demo notes right there. That's good. And we've made it easier than ever to get at your widgets. Just slide over the other way. You can see I have my weather, I have my calendar, I get my news, top stories. And you notice these widgets have the ability for me to get more information. So I can do show more and see the rest of my day, you'd like to think. And I can even get more information right here from apps on my home screen. So for instance, it looks like I have a decent number of unread email messages. And now, if I 3D Touch there, I can see who it is I've been ignoring this whole time, my VIPs. Now, if I swipe over here, I can also get great information on activity without even launching the app. I just 3D Touch in and get a look at my rings. And this can work really well with third-party apps as well. So I'm going to jump into ESPN, I can see information about my latest team, and if I want that widget available to me at all times on my Today view, I can just add that widget like that, and I go over to my Today view, and there it is. And I can get that show more information, and you see I get a graphical update on the highlights from the last game, and if I tap in, live action.
Curry to Iguodala. Shot clock at 7. Curry fakes, puts up a three. Bang!
Bang!
Stephen Curry from downtown. It's a 10-point game.
Oh yeah. So that is a quick look at the new lock screen and home screen experience in iOS 10. You have a beautiful new control center, interactive notifications, and great ways to use your widgets. It's great on the iPhone and the iPad as well. Next, number 2, Siri, huge part of the user experience in iOS. Now, Siri services over 2 billion requests a week from customers. And there's so many things that you can ask Siri. But now in iOS 10, Siri's going to be able to do so much more because we're opening up Siri to developers. Now you'll be able to ask Siri things like, send a WeChat to Nancy saying I'll be 5 minutes late, and Siri can summon up the WeChat UI right inside of the Siri environment. Now, of course, Siri, because it understands the domains of things like messaging, it allows you to say things in so many different ways. I could have said, WeChat Nancy that I'll be 5 minutes late, or I need to send a message to Nancy via WeChat saying I'll be 5 minutes late. And I could do that in all sorts of different languages. But because now in iOS 10, we have an intense API, it allows Siri to take on that part of the work and lets the extension do what it does best, like messaging. And so now we support messaging with apps like Slack and WhatsApp, and of course WeChat. You can do things like ride booking in Siri with services like Uber, Lyft, and Didi in China. Photo search in apps like IM, Shutterfly, and Pinterest. And you can pause and stop your workouts in apps like Map My Run, Runtastic, and Runkeeper. And even do payments to send money to friends with things like Number 26, Square Cash, and Alipay in China. And do VoIP calling through apps like Cisco Spark, Vonage, and Skype. And it works great in the car as well, because with CarPlay, you can now safely send your messages as well as make VoIP calls all inside the CarPlay environment with your favorite apps. And that's a quick update on Siri. Number 3, QuickType. And the big news this year is we're bringing Siri intelligence to the keyboard. So today, QuickType is able to use context to help predict what words you might type next. Well, now we're using deep learning and a technique specifically called LSTMs to enable much more intelligence in longer context, so we can tell the difference between the Orioles are playing in the playoffs and the children are playing in the park automatically. And Siri can help you do responses more intelligently than ever. So you might get asked, where are you? Well, Siri can suggest right there on the suggestion bar that you supply your current location. Tap it, and you can get your location with a map right into your transcript. And people might ask you about contact information for a friend. Well, Siri can automatically offer up the most relevant contacts. Now, right locally on your device, Siri has information about what you've been doing. And so it can extract information from a message that maybe says, oh, you're talking about dim sum at 11 a.m. on Sunday. Well, when you go to automatically create a calendar event, Siri can pre-fill it for you with things like, oh, that must be brunch. Fill out the location. Pick the time. It's really smart. And Siri does so much more. Can check your calendar availability for you automatically. Help you paste a recent address automatically, fill it in based on addresses you were browsing in other apps. It can help you look up terms it recognizes, things like movies and restaurants. With one tap, you can get more information. And Siri now, the QuickType keyboard supports multilingual typing. So if you like typing alternating maybe between English and Spanish or Italian, you don't have to switch keyboards. QuickType can follow you automatically. So that's QuickType. Next, number 4 is photos. Now, we love capturing so much of our lives on our cameras, on our iPhones. They're so great. And with iCloud Photo Library, we have those photos with us across all of our devices. Well, we wanted to give you easier ways, of course, to find and experience the photos that you've taken. And one of those is with Places. So now we let you see all of your photos on a map. It's a great way to relive a trip, for instance. But the big news in photos this year is advanced computer vision. We're applying advanced deep learning techniques to bring facial recognition to the iPhone. And it's all done locally on device, taking advantage of the power of the advanced silicon in all of our iOS devices. You can get all of your most important people automatically built into people albums for you automatically, and all done with your privacy protected. Now, we're applying the same kind of technology with deep learning to object and scene recognition as well. In fact, we do 11 billion computations per photo to be able to detect things like there's a horse, there's water, there's a mountain, and with this, you can do really powerful searching on your device. But you know, sometimes the magic and experience in your photos isn't just about finding a photo that you know you're looking for. It's about being reminded serendipitously of a memory that would be so special. And so now we're using advanced artificial intelligence to analyze across your entire photo library, all done locally on device, to cluster together photos and relate them based on location, the people involved, the scenes, and out of this be able to surface memories that would be most relevant to you at any given moment. We can bring forward things like trips. We can spot trips that might be important to you. We can figure out that you might want to see photos of a highlight reel of the last weekend or the last year and offer those to you at just the right time. We can bring forward memories of people that are special to you or groups of people, and topics, special photos you took, for instance, when you're on the water, at the beach, at the mountains. These can make wonderful memories to survey over time. But most important, we pull these together into an intuitive user interface that makes these so engaging. And I'd like to show you that experience now. So let's take a look at photos. So we see there's a photo album here of a family, but what you'll notice at the bottom is this new tab called Memories. Let's take a look. So we can see here there are a number of memories that have been offered up into this memories feed. And at the top, there's a vacation that the system has spotted where the family took a trip to Tahoe City. Let's dive in and take a look at a memory. Now you see there's actually a movie up at the top. We'll talk more about that later. And down below, there's this beautiful layout of highlights of the photos. Now I can tap Show All and actually see a grid of every photo that was taken, but you can see how the summary intelligently draws out the most special photos into these highlights that are really great to browse. Now, if we go further down, we see that it's actually pulled out the set of people that are in the photo, the family, grandma and grandpa and the uncle, and a map of the location where all of those photos were taken. And down here at the bottom, we have related other memories I might want to see related to this one. And it's really smart. So you see that the Santa Cruz and 4th of July memories, well, grandma and grandpa were both on the trip in Tahoe City and in these, so those are offered up as related. And this Tahoe City trip was an outdoor vacation, so it offered up another one, like Alaska. And you can see there's another time the family was also at Tahoe City, but this time in the winter. Now I'm going to jump into that related memory. And you see, once again, we have photos and videos at the bottom, but I want to highlight the movie up here at the top. You know, we all take so many pictures and movies, and we never go back to actually assemble them into something we'd want to watch. But now our iPhone can do that for us automatically. Let's see what the iPhone has created for this memory. So isn't that great? You know, the advanced computer vision of the Photos app is now doing analysis of just the right parts of the video to include, the right photos, and it's editing them together with the right mood and with the right music. Now, when you have a memory like this, you often want to share it, and sometimes you might want to make it a little shorter, say, for sharing, so I can just use this slider at the bottom and say I'd like it to be shorter. And maybe I want to change the mood a little bit. You notice there's a mood slider just up above there, and that was a pretty great snowball fight. So I'll pick Epic. And based on these changes, it's going to completely re-edit the movie to new music. Let's take a look. That's pretty epic. And that's a quick look at memories in iOS 10. It's really fantastic on your iPhone, and it's great on your iPad as well. And Mac gets many of these new features as well. The great new face recognition engine, scene and object recognition search, and the ability to browse photo and video galleries of your memories. And the Apple TV is just such a great way to experience those memory movies on the biggest screen in your house. So that is Photos. Now next, we want to talk about the big news in all of our biggest services here at Apple. And to do that, I'm going to bring up for number 5, 6, and 7, Eddie Q back to the stage. Eddie.
Thank you, Craig. I love the new Photos. Can't wait to do it. So let's get started with Maps. Now last year, we introduced Nearby, a great way to find places and transit with an incredible amount of detail, including all the entrances and exits from every station. But for iOS 10, we've got an all-new design for Maps. It starts with making it easy to access controls and details on locations. And we're making Maps do more for you in advance. It's more proactive. So you slide up from the bottom and you can see suggestions. Maps knows that usually at this time, I usually go to work. Or it can look at a calendar event and find a location. It also gives you convenient ways to filter down on the places you might want to go. For example, let's take a look at restaurants nearby. But we're in San Francisco. I feel like seafood, so I can slide across the bottom, and now I can see all the seafood restaurants right in San Francisco. Now, we're applying all of these new designs to navigation as well. So you get more information, it makes it easier to follow and control, and we even include traffic en route. Now, when you're driving, it'll automatically zoom in, and as you get to a long straightaway, it'll automatically zoom back out. And you can even pan and zoom way further ahead to see what the traffic conditions are. Now, we give you quick controls to let you see route details, so now you can even look and see on your route where food or gas stations are, and Maps will tell you how much longer it'll take if you go to any one of those. And of course, we're making this available on CarPlay. And if there's a lot of traffic ahead, Maps will proactively give you alternate routes and tell you how much time it'll save. And we're making it safer to follow directions while keeping your eyes on the road, because now you can get turn by turn right in the instrument cluster of your car. Now, we think you're going to love these updates, but there's more, because we are opening Maps up to developers. Now, with map extensions, you can enable all new capabilities in Maps. For example, you can make a reservation using a popular app like OpenTable. You pick the number of people, the time, right inside of Maps. And because these are extensions, they're open to all developers around the world, like Ding An Ping in China, and Zomato around many countries around the world. And when you're ready to leave, you tap on directions, and now you're offered the new option to book a ride. And with app extensions like Uber, you can pick any kind of car, pay for it with Apple Pay, and see the status. So again, I can find a restaurant, I can book a reservation, I can request a car, I can pay for it, and I can see when it's going to arrive, all without leaving Maps. And these extensions are open to all developers. Here's the Chinese ride service app Didi, and that is Maps. Number 6, music. So Apple Music lets you play from millions of songs, thousands of playlists curated by our team of experts, and it's been an incredible year. We now have over 15 million paid subscribers. This is the fastest music service ever in its first year. And we've learned a lot along the way, and so today, we've got an all-new Apple Music redesigned from the ground up. We want to give greater clarity and simplicity to every aspect of Apple Music, and here is what it looks like. It has a beautiful new design language that allows the music to be the hero. Nothing shows this more than Now Playing. Now, the new structure makes it clear where you are and also emphasizes the features that you use every day. And all of these changes come together to create a new music app that's both more intuitive and familiar. And now, to give you a demo of it, I'd like to invite up Bozma St. John.
Thank you, Eddie. All right. Ladies and gents, I'm so excited to show you the all-new Apple Music. Now, lots of people listen to their music from their library. So now, when we open up the Music app, you'll see that the first tab is the library. People also have huge music libraries. So now it's easier to navigate with simple sections like playlists, artists, albums, songs, and now a new section called Downloaded Music. When I tap onto Downloaded Music, you'll see that this is where all of the music which is on my iPhone sits. Now, I call myself a super execu-mommy because I'm flying all over the place, and now it really makes it easy for me to see all the music that's on my iPhone. There's also the recently added section, and this includes the albums, songs, and playlists that I've recently added to my library. You'll see that there's tons of awesome music here, like this classic, the Sugar Hill Gang, and it kind of feels appropriate to get this party started with a little bit of Rappers Delight, right? Come on, let's listen to something. Come on, y'all. Now you recognize this beat, right? Come on, we're gonna make this whole auditorium rock. Come on, on 1, 2, 3, let's go. 1, 2, 3, rock. Yes, there you go. All right, now we're gonna multitask, okay? Look at the bottom of the screen. You see the artwork, the title, and controls so that you can skip. And when we open it, you'll see that there is beautiful detail on the artwork, the controls, and now there are lyrics. So come on, we're gonna rap. Let's go. Come on, y'all. Okay, you know what? No. We're gonna pause this, okay? Because some of you guys are not rapping to the beat, okay? But you'll have plenty of time on your own to study the lyrics, okay? All right, let's go to the next tab, For You. I love For You. It's my favorite part of Apple Music. And you know why? Because it's all about me. Yes, that's correct. So now you'll see that at the top of For You, there's a discovery mix. Now this contains the songs that have been picked just for me, so I can discover new artists and new music. There's also the recently played, like we just listened to the Sugar Hill Gang, so it's right there, I can navigate easily to it, and daily curated playlists. Now it's Monday. I usually like to strut into the office on a Monday, and look at the playlist today. It's called the Fashion Runway Strut. That's all about me. It's right here, okay? Now, this is not a typical Monday, but I still want to know what I'd be strutting to, so let's listen. What do we got?
Louie, come do your part.
Get it, girl.
Yeah, that's right. She said, get it, girl, okay? Now listen, I could be getting it, all right? I could get my strut on up and down the stage, but it's too early for that. I don't want to hurt you guys, okay? So we're gonna pause this, okay? All right. All right, but we are gonna get back to this, okay? So the rest of For You, as you'll see, has awesome music that, again, is for my taste. I've got playlists here, albums, and there's even Connect. Now, the artists that I'm following have posted art and music and videos and all kinds of awesome stuff for me to connect to. Browse. This tab is for all of us, okay? The Apple Music editors have taken so much time, listened tons of music, to tell us what is the most recent and most important. Like you'll see right now, the hot album, Nick Jonas, all right? Y'all pay attention. Now we've also got these easy navigation down here with new music, curated playlists, and even top charts. So when we tap on top charts, we can see look at that, it's Drake. I mean, Drake has been at the top of the chart for a little bit, okay? But you can see who else is on there. Now, let's go to radio. Radio is live in almost 100 countries. You guys know that? You know radio is live? All right, and Beats One is becoming the largest radio station in the entire world. Now, we can explore Beats One and see what's live and listen right now. We can also see the upcoming shows, and we can even see featured shows by legendary artists like Dr. Dre, Pharrell Williams, Mary J. Blige, Sir Elton John. Have you guys listened to a show? It's called The Rocket Hour, okay? It's amazing. And if you haven't listened to it, you can tap right there and listen on demand at your leisure. So that's awesome. Now, when I want to listen to non-stop music, I can go to View All Stations and listen to genre-based stations like Pure Pop, because I like to listen to pop music all day long, why not? But I think since we're coming to the end here, I would like to do something a little bit different and play something for the world, right? So let's play some world hits. See what we've got. Now that sounds like the beginnings of some good Ghanaian high life music. All right, guys, that's the all-new Apple Music. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you, Bose. That's the all-new Apple Music. It is incredible on your iPhone, iPad, your Mac and PC, your Apple TV, and Android too, and that is music. Number 7, let's talk about news. Now, last fall, we introduced Apple News to bring you the best stories from the best publishers, all personalized for you. And we introduced it with a great set of publications, but we've got a lot more. We now have over 2,000 publications in Apple News, and our readers are loving it. In fact, we have over 60 million monthly users reading in news. And with iOS 10, we've got some big changes. It starts with an all-new design. Here's what it looks like. We've taken all of the stories in For You and broken them up into clear sections, which makes them easier to follow. Here's top stories. Here's trending, where you can see the most popular stories right now. All of the topics you follow, like sports. And news is even smart enough to create new topics for you based on what you read. Here's one for me on Formula One racing. And you're going to love our featured stories, where our editors handpicked the best stories. But we wanted news to be the place where you read all of the stories from your favorite publications, and that's why we're introducing subscriptions. So now, you can read every article from magazines like National Geographic, newspapers like the Wall Street Journal, right inside of News. And in addition to subscriptions, we're bringing breaking news notifications. And so now you get the most important stories delivered right to your lock screen. That is our big update for news, an all-new design, subscriptions, and breaking news notifications. And that is news. I'd like to turn it back to Craig now.
Thank you, Eddie. These are some fantastic new designs. Now, on to number 8, and it's HomeKit. You know, before we announced HomeKit 2 years ago, the home accessory space was a mess of incompatible and insecure protocols and accessories that required you to download a separate app that you needed to learn just to control each individual accessory. But with HomeKit, we've been changing all that. We're making sure that your home automation products work together easily and securely. And this year, we've rounded out the set of accessory types supported by HomeKit to include important new categories like cameras and door locks. And in fact, essentially every major maker of home accessories has shipping or has announced support for HomeKit. And home builders are getting on board as well. Some of the biggest builders of homes here in the United States and in China are now building new homes with HomeKit built right in, so you can move in and just start controlling your home. But you know, this year, we're taking the next big step for HomeKit and iOS in the home. We're building on the HomeKit framework with a great new app we call Home. It's right on your iOS home screen. Now, When you launch the Home app, you get to see your own personalized wallpaper and all of your accessories, no matter who they're made by. And you can control them so easily. If you want to turn on a light, of course, just tap it. If you want to adjust the dimmer, well, just press in a little harder and slide, and you can adjust the dimmer just like that. So you can tap, tap, tap across all the accessories in your home. But sometimes you'd like to trigger a change to all of them. And for that, we have something we call scenes. So for instance, if you want to get ready for bed, you can tap good night. You'll see that close the living room shades, lock the front door, adjust the thermostat, all in one step. Now, Siri knows how to interact with scenes as well. So if in the morning you say good morning to Siri, well, Siri can automatically get your home all ready for you for the day. And you can also control your accessories without launching an app at all, because HomeKit is actually built right into Control Center. Swipe up Control Center, you can swipe over to see your home controls. And with just a tap, for instance, open up your garage door. Now, HomeKit takes advantage of our interactive notifications as well. So if someone rings the doorbell, for instance, you can tap in and actually get a live feed of your front door camera, talk to them on the intercom if you want, and even unlock the door, all right from the lock screen of your iPhone. Now, yeah. Now, since your Apple TV is always on, always plugged in, and always on the network in your home, it can serve as a secure point for remote access and automation within your home. So when you're on the go, you can actually access all of your accessories securely end-to-end encrypted, and you can set up automation like geofences so that when you roll into your driveway, you can make sure that the garage door will open, the lights will turn on, and maybe even the hot tub will start up in the back for you, all automatically. Now, the Home app is great on the iPhone. It's also fantastic on the iPad as well. So many people like using the iPad as the ultimate home control device, whether mounted on the wall or on the coffee table. And, of course, there's nothing beating the remote that you always have with you right on your wrist, the Apple Watch. It comes with built-in home control support as well. So that's a quick update on Home. Next, yes, thank you. Number 9, phone. You know, we all receive a lot of calls, but we want to make sure that when you miss your calls, you have the best experience possible. So now you can actually get voicemail transcription of your incoming calls so you can see what it's about without having to listen. Of course, sometimes we are there and we receive a call like this and we wonder what the heck it's about. And unfortunately, in China, this can be a real problem where there's a lot of voicemail spam. So now we're supporting an extension API where third parties like Tencent can provide information automatically to tell you a possible phone spam. This is going to be super useful for a lot of people around the world. Now, of course, people love doing calling from many, many different sorts of apps. And today, the experience is something like this when you receive a call, a notification on your lock screen. Well, now in iOS 10, we have a great new VoIP API that means your experience for incoming calls instead can be like this. VoIP apps can now integrate into the lock screen. They're integrated into your phone recents. They're in your phone favorites. And your contact card has been enhanced so it remembers how you like to call each person, and you can access them that way with just a tap. So we've been working with our partner Cisco on elevating mobility in the enterprise. And now, using our VoIP API combined with their Cisco Spark app, it's never been easier to use your iPhone with work. Because in addition to receiving calls made to your personal cell number, you also can receive calls made to your work number right from your iPhone, whether you're at your desk or on the go. It's really handy. And that's phone. Next, okay, thanks. So next, number 10, and this one's a doozy. It's Messages. Now, Messages is the most frequently used app on iOS, and people love sharing things with Messages, whether it's photos or links to their favorite websites, but they look like this, but not any longer, because now we have rich links. So when you share links, you get artwork from the website, abstracted titles. It's really great. And it's especially awesome when you get shared with things like video, because they can play right in line inside the transcript. Look at that guy go. Now, of course, we love using our camera to share, and we've made the camera better than ever in messages. Now when you bring up the camera, you immediately see what's right in front of your camera. Like someone in marketing thought that's what someone sees when they bring up with their camera. And you could also slide over and see your family. It's such an incongruous set of images. So you can just tap those and insert them right into your transcript. It's really convenient. Now, people really love emoji, and now we've made them 3 times bigger in the transcript, which is fantastic. And to help you always reach for the right emoji, we're providing emoji predictions as you type. Super handy. But you know, sometimes you've typed a whole message and then you realize at the end that you're totally lacking in emojification. And so we've provided the solution. When you tap on the emoji button, we'll highlight all the emojifiable words there, and you can just tap, 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 and emojify. Children of tomorrow will have no understanding of the English language. So these are some great new features in messages. But you know, we wanted to do something more fundamental with messaging, because today, no matter what you say, it's always the same bubble. It always comes across the same way. But no longer, because now we have bubble effects. So if you want to say it loud, you can say it loud. And if you want to say it more gently, well, now you can do that as well. And you know, sometimes you want to get across something personal. And invisible ink gives you the way to do that. So you can just slide your finger across the bubble and clear away the message like that. And it's a really great way to share a surprise. A little scared to see what's behind that. You can just slide across. Okay. Now, so sometimes you just like to send a quick affirmation, a quick tap back, and now you can. Just tap, and your thumbs up can go right there in the transcript. But you know, there's nothing more personal than your own handwriting. And so now we support handwritten messages. Think handwriting bubbles. And you see when it comes across, the care there is the ink just settles in to the transcript. It's really beautiful. And of course, we support digital touch as well. So you can send these very lively sketches, but also with video, photos, even things like your heartbeat. And sometimes what you say really deserves using the whole screen. So now messages can do that as well. You know, making all of this possible in messages has been a huge effort, cross-functional effort across Apple. And so for our demo today, I wanted to bring up some leads from both our engineering team and our human interface design team to give you a demo. So let's give a warm welcome to Bethany and Emron. Come on up.
Thanks, Craig. We are so thrilled to finally be able to show you what we've been working on. Now, Imran and I are going to show you the different ways that we use messages, but I'm going to kick things off by jumping first into a thread with my sister Lori, who just got to a graduation. So let's write her back and say, give her my love and tell her I said happy graduation day. Okay, now typically I would hunt for the perfect emoji to tack on the end, but now when I tap on the emoji button to switch to the emoji keyboard, words throughout my message that can be swapped for emoji are automatically highlighted. And all I have to do is tap to replace them. So I'm going to tap to replace love, and I'm going to choose the type of hearts I want to send. I'm going to do bedazzled, I think. And I can tap on happy, and I choose how happy I want to be. What do you think?
Why don't you go with the upside down one?
No. I'm gonna, yeah.
Hey, you be you, Bethany, you be you.
I'm gonna do eyes closed, kind of happy, and I tap on graduation, and it switches to the cap, which there is no chance I would have found that.
None. We would have been here for days.
True story. So I'm gonna go ahead and send that off. So Lori just sent through a digital touch video, and what's so awesome about this is that she created this entire thing using digital touch right from within Messages.
And they're so much fun to make, aren't they?
Yeah, and really, really fun to watch. And I'm gonna let her know how I feel about it using tapbacks, which is as easy as double tapping and sending back a heart. It's that quick and that fun, and honestly, it is my favorite way to communicate now. So Lori says she can't wait to see me this summer, and I feel the same way. So I'm gonna let her know. I'm gonna say, me too. And I'm gonna send this using a bubble effect. So I just press and hold on the send button. And I think gentle will really let her know how I'm feeling. So I'm gonna choose that one.
Oh, so great, Bethany. All right, so.
That sounded a little sarcastic, I think.
Well, I think Lori felt it, that's for sure. So now the both of us are going to show you just how fun things have become with a group of friends. I'm going to go in and revive a chat here by sending a digital touch photo. Now, Bethany just showed us how fantastic those digital touch videos look. Let's take a look at how easy it is to make one. I'm just going to launch the camera here.
You want some space up here?
Yeah, just a bit. It is a process, you know?
Yeah.
All right. All right. I'm going to pick a color. I'm going to say, what do you think? What color?
Yellow.
Yellow. All right. Now add my usual shout out and send. It is that easy.
Looks good on the big screen.
Hey, it looks like Freddie's here, and as usual, loud and always ready to talk about some music, and he sent over an Apple Music link. And what's great about these is I can just play them right in line without ever having to leave my conversation. It's simply the best way to share music. Let's give it a listen. Oh, LCD sound system always sounding so good, especially at Bill Graham. Anne seems to agree, and she said so using a handwritten message. And these things are always so personal, always so fresh. Let's write back and say they smashed it. And I'm going to do so sending a bubble effect. I'm going to choose my favorite, which is slam. Bam always gets my point across.
I think you abused that one a little bit. I'm
You know
just
what?
gonna say it.
It never gets old,
Yeah.
right? Oh, it's fantastic, that one. Boy, it looks like I may have smashed the demo for a moment. All right, let's try a different one here.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, looks like we might be back up. Let's say it here. They smashed it.
There you go.
One more time.
That works. One more time.
What do you say?
Yeah.
Bam! Always looks good. I really do use it all the time, don't I?
Yeah. Okay, so there we go.
You know what? Our friends are always late to the game. They really are.
It's true. It's
Okay, looks like they're playing in San Francisco, and as you might expect with a band like that, sold out. Now, Bethany sent over an effect with invisible ink. This is fantastic for when you want to keep something a surprise, which it looks like you may have. So now, to reveal the contents, all I have to do is use my finger to swipe away the particles. Let's have a look. Oh, Bethany, you got us tickets.
You know.
Always
good.
coming through, always coming through. Seems like everyone else agrees. I'm going to show my appreciation by sending some big emoji here. Make sure I put myself in there. And to close things off, let's do this with a full screen effect. And we've got some lovely ones here, like lovely balloons. We'll swipe over to confetti. But I'm going to go with this one.
Nothing beats a full screen moment.
That's iOS 10 messages, everyone. We cannot wait for you to try it. Thank you.
Thank you, Bethany and Emron. It's just incredible work. Well, so those are some highlights for messages. But you know, we thought when it comes to expressing yourself that there was so much more we could do if we could tap into all of the creativity of all of you developers. And so we're opening up messages to developers as well with iMessage apps. With iMessage apps, iMessage has an app drawer with all of your iMessage apps. You can tap the plus and get to the App Store and find other apps. And when you download them, of course, they're here in your drawer. And there's so many different kinds of apps you can create, from things like stickers. And artists can create stickers as well without even writing any code. But for developers who do want to write code, they have access to the full iOS SDK, including access to the camera, so you can do incredible animated effects with apps like JibJab. You can accomplish more sophisticated tasks as well, like payment with Square Cash, allowing you to pay someone right through the messages thread. They can receive it and redeem it on the receiving end right inside of messages. You know, there's so much you can do with iMessage apps. I'd like to show you a couple of the possibilities in a demo right now. Let's take a look. So let's dive here into a conversation. See, here's a thread with the family. Now I can respond with text, of course, but now with iMessage apps, I can just bring up my app drawer and I can get to all of my different iMessage apps, including some great stickers. So let me dive into these Mickey stickers. We can see that they're all animated. I can actually look through them like this. I can swipe between my stickers, so maybe some from inside out. Here's some from Finding Dory. If I want to send one, I can just tap, drop it right in, just like that. It's really easy and they're really fun. Now, here I received another photo, and the great thing about stickers is you can actually peel them off and attach them to bubbles. So, you know, this one would look cool if I could just take the sun over here, maybe put that up there in the corner, and then maybe a little seal off here on the side, just like that. It's really pretty cool what you can do with these messages. Well, oh look, I got a message from Brian here. Let's take a look at this. He says, we're placing an order for lunch after the keynote, and we can see he's doing that actually with an iMessage app. So he's used DoorDash, and he's placing an order at Curry Up Now. So I can just tap in and see what's going on. Now, there's a group cart that we're all collaborating on through the iMessage app, so I'm gonna look at that. Looks like Phil has ordered the Naughty Naan, and Jaws has ordered, Brian's ordered as well. So I can put in my order, and I'm gonna go for this deconstructed samosa. That looks pretty good. And I'm sure Tim would like one as well. And well, it would be rude if, you know, we ate in front of you guys without getting you some. So we'll just up this up a little bit here. And we can just add that to our cart like this, and then drop it right into messages. And it's fortunate Brian will be paying for this. So a final thing I'd like to show you with iMessage apps are these really fun, interactive kinds of apps. And one example is JibJab. So let's jump right into JibJab here. We see there are a whole bunch of fun things. I can scroll through and see the options. I can also, of course, select from a gallery of faces. Let's pick Eddie maybe. And you know, I can just drop him in to the transcript, just like that. And I think this gives you the sense of the power of iMessage apps in iOS 10. So this is the new Messages. It's, of course, fantastic on your iPhone. All of this is available to you on your iPad as well. And your Mac and your Apple Watch can receive all of this interactive content as well. So that's Messages, part of 10 huge features in iOS 10. But of course, there was so much more that we can't talk about right now, but I can't help myself but mention just a couple more things, like Notes collaboration. You now can work live with multiple people in the same note. Conversation view in Mail, so you can scroll from message to message in a single thread on your iPhone and iPad. Live photos are better than ever. We have digital video image stabilization, so they're buttery smooth, and they're editable now as well. And finally, split view in Safari on iPad. So you can put two websites side by side in Safari on your iPad. Now, iOS 10 is a fantastic release for our users. It's also a gigantic release for our developers. When you think about it, experiences like the lock screen with notifications, the phone, maps, messages, every major area of iOS now open to developers, and so many other options. But you know, all of this great work in iOS 10 would be meaningless to us if it came at the expense of your privacy. And so, in every feature that we do, we carefully consider how to protect your privacy. With apps like FaceTime and Messages and HomeKit, we make sure to use end-to-end encryption by default and always to protect your communication. And when it comes to performing advanced deep learning and artificial intelligence analysis of your data, we're doing it on device using the incredible power of the silicon on your iPhone and your Mac, keeping your personal data under your control. And when you do searches of the internet, maybe for a route in Maps or a search for information in Spotlight, well, we don't build any user profiles. Now, of course, one of the important tools in making software more intelligent is to spot patterns on how multiple users are using their devices. For instance, you might want to know what new words are trending so you could offer them up more readily in the QuickType keyboard. Well, differential privacy is a research topic in the area of statistics and data analytics that uses hashing, subsampling, and noise injection to enable this kind of crowdsourced learning while keeping the information of each individual user completely private. Now, Apple's been doing some super important work in this area to enable differential privacy to be deployed at scale. And we brought in the professor and researcher who literally co-wrote the book on differential privacy for a quick peek at what we were doing. And he described the work as groundbreaking. He went on to say that incorporating differential privacy broadly into Apple's technology is visionary and positions Apple as the clear privacy leader among technology companies today. We believe you should have great features and great privacy. You demand it, and we are dedicated to providing it. So well, actually, there's one more thing. You know, we are so excited about everything you've just seen with iOS 10. We couldn't help ourselves. We made a video. I'd love to show it to you now. Let's do it.
But you better kiss my ring. Welcome to the future, Marty McFly. Hello, hello, holla, hey, bye, bye. So brand new, so fresh and clean. Nothing better, not better than me. Stronger, faster, shiny too. Here and now and made for you. Walk into the room, gonna make your bang go boom. And I'm like, hey, hi, hello, hey, hi, hello, hey, hi, hello.
That is iOS 10. All of you developers can get the developer preview today. And again, we're doing a public beta this July. Sign up now at beta.apple.com and we'll let you know when you can download it. And iOS 10 will be available to all of our users this fall as a free upgrade across all of these devices. That is iOS.